Well, I know what's on my Christmas list now. Some new BYU basketball shorts.
It's on your Halloween gift list.
Calling Bobby Hordusky. Bobby, are you there? Welcome back to Studio B. This is your day-to-day BYU Sports play-by-play. I'm Spencer Linton. This is Jerem Jordan. And here to help us talk about those new uniforms, and the actual basketball that's going to be starting up here pretty quickly, is transfer point guard Rudi Williams. Rudi, it's great to have you in the new version of Studio B.
Thank you guys. You guys, nice little renovation. It looks good around here.
You came at a good time in the history of BYU. You know what I'm saying? Life's good right now. The new unis, the set, the Big 12.
Throw that up.
Look at that.
What do you think?
These are nice.
What do you think of the clean, new, white BYU uniforms right there?
Honestly, I'm a big fan of them. You know, they're simple, but like they're nice and clean. I feel like when we put them on during the games, they're gonna look way better than what people may have thought and seen like their first reaction on the internet.
And this is your actual uniform.
Yeah, this is mine. So
number 3. That's a good number.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
So walk me through the emotions of seeing your last name and your number on that BYU jersey, because you've had an interesting path, but now you are here.
Honestly, it gave me chills the first time when we saw him. You know, we obviously saw him before everybody else, but we saw him last week, and it gave me chills just because when I was a little kid, like the first March Madness game like I ever watched, which when I was in 6th grade, was the Jimmer team.
My man.
Those runs. So like Jimmer Fredette was the first thing I knew about March Madness, NCAA. So now I'm all grown up now.
Yeah.
I'm getting to wear the BYU blue. So
That's pretty cool, dude.
It's a full circle thing for me. So it's pretty
Have
cool.
you met him? Has he been in town when you've been here?
I met him.
He was here 2 weeks ago at the Baylor game.
Yeah.
You met him?
He knew my name.
Dude.
I was.
That's cool.
I was on some fanboy stuff. And, BYU basketball put out a video of me like a couple weeks back, and he liked it. And I remember showing my brother because I go on my phone. It's Jimmer Fredette liked your video, and I became.
That's
a fan.
cool.
I was like, yeah, this is crazy.
He's the most personable superstar I've ever met in my life. I guess I haven't hung out with that many superstars. He's one of our own, right? But he is so personable. Like, he's a good hang. He's great. He's great. Okay, so Spencer mentioned your path here. You've been to various places. You're from Canada, Hamilton, Ontario. What's your journey been like as a basketball player and a person to get to this point?
I'll start with as a person. My journey's been pretty different. You know, it hasn't been like traditional. I've kind of had to grow up on the fly throughout the years, in high school and junior college and stuff like that. Kind of had to mature really fast, because I got sent out by myself pretty much when I was like a sophomore in high school. I left home, to obviously pursue basketball. That's when I moved to America. And, it's taught me a lot of stuff. It's taught me, independence, how to be independent. It's taught me hard work, how to be tough, because, I was always by myself. So, like, the only person I could really lean on was myself. I had family, and obviously I had a support system, but, like, they're all far away, like, I was away from home. And I would say as a basketball player, growing up, throughout the years, I would just say, honestly, just have to develop and just get better every step of the way, every stage, every journey, every new spot. So, yeah, I would say those are like the 2 main things.
So you went to JC in Oklahoma,
Yes,
right?
sir.
What was the name again?
Northeastern Oklahoma A&M.
Okay, and then Kansas State for a year, and then Coastal Carolina. You're our favorite thing about Coastal Carolina.
That will always be the case.
That will always be the case. And then now to BYU. So what? And we've talked to you before about this, but why BYU now for you?
Honestly, I felt like the timing was just perfect. When I was dealing with the whole transfer portal stuff, BYU reached out, and their pitch was just a little bit different than all the other schools. I was reached out by some pretty good schools and stuff like that, some pretty big names. But, I just felt like it was real. When I spoke to Coach Pope and when I spoke to Coach Feger and all the other assistants and all that, it was real. And, like, our visions aligned, and it just felt right. I remember I took my recruiting trip here, and I remember leaving, and I was like, I'm a fool not to come here, honestly. I remember telling my family that, so.
That's great.
Rudi Williams of BYU basketball with us on BYU Sports Nation.
He ain't no fool.
In talking with your teammates, they quickly point out, like, Rudi is the ultimate team guy. He's the ultimate leader. He's the leader that this roster needs because there are a lot of new faces. And, as a team guy, I can't help but notice that you're rocking the George Helping Hands Foundation t-shirt. You're giving love to Gideon George.
Can we zoom in on this? Shout out my boy G. He's doing something special. You know, he's not just thinking about himself. You know, people have helped him get to where he is today. So now he's just trying to, you know, return the favor and help a lot of other kids that, you know, and he's making a big difference. So
yes, he is.
Shout out to him.
What do you think of your team overall? That includes Gideon George, who is slated to be a starter along with yourself. What do you think of the roster makeup thus far?
Me personally, I love the guys. Like, you know, every day we practice, every day when we're competing, like, you know, I trust these guys. You know I can depend on them. I know I look to my left, I look to my right. These guys are working hard. I'm not going to single anybody out, but like everyone brings it every day. Everyone's about the right stuff. And my personal favorite thing, like basketball-wise, is everyone can shoot the ball. Like I love it. Like I pass the ball to somebody and they get it off, I'm just like, I got an assist. Like that's how I think in practice. You know, obviously when we get towards the November time, like I know I can trust these guys. When I give them the ball, they can make plays happen. So I'm very excited about that.
There are some familiar names. There are a lot of new guys. 12 of the 18 on the roster, I think, weren't on the roster last year. One of these that I'm excited to see, especially, is Noah Waterman, who is a 6'10" dude who can light it up. He is unique in that way. Because of his length, people will expect him to be in the post. That's an old mindset. Yeah. Everybody can shoot.
Yeah, the whole team, literally, everyone can. You know, we put a lot of work in with jump shots and, you know, shooting the ball and getting reps up. Coach tries to emphasize getting up 1,000 threes, each player 1,000 threes a week. So you kind of have to divvy it up, 200-something shots a day if you want to get it done before the weekend.
Have you fallen to like Saturday where you need 500?
No, not that much, but I was in the gym this past Saturday, and the number I had to get up was 226. So I had to, Saturday night, I had to, you know, run to the annex, and I was like, oh, I owe 226. So, you know, I had to get that done. But, you know, everyone on the team can shoot the ball. Everyone's skilled. Everyone plays the right way. And, you know, it's been a lot of fun so far since I've been here.
Okay, well, you made a drastic improvement from going from Kansas State to Coastal Carolina. You shot 44% at the three-point line, and now you're looking to do something even better. So what type of changes do you make, you know, to work on specifically the three-point shot that is becoming such a pivotal and integral part of modern basketball?
Yeah. Honestly, I would just say, you know, biggest thing for me has been just, you know, extending the range. You know, guys figure out that, you know, you can shoot the ball well. You know, that's going to be on the scouting report, you know, that's whatever the number is, 44%. You know, guys might play you different ways. So you might have to get your shot off three-point lines here. You might have to get it off a little bit further. So, you know, I've been working on extending my range throughout the summer. And then obviously since I've gotten here, me and Coach Fieger, we've been working really hard at that. And yeah, you know, honestly, just staying consistent, staying in the gym. I feel like, you know, guys who are good shooters, it comes with confidence. You know, obviously that's time put in the gym. So, you know, that's what I'm just trying to stay at.
And you increased 15% on your percentage, which is notable, and tripled the amount of makes. How did you do that last year? That's a big jump.
Honestly, I would just say it was just confidence and, you know, believing in myself and believing in the time that I put in. You know, I had a lot of trust, like the coaches trusted me at Coastal Carolina. And, you know, it gave me a lot of confidence in myself to, you know, go out there and perform well. So,
Rudi Williams is on BYU Sports Nation. Of your teammates, and again, as Jarom pointed out, 12 new faces on this roster. So, yeah, the coaches are dealing with a lot of new pieces and trying to fit this puzzle piece together. Of your teammates, which surprised you the most? Where you're like, whoa, like this dude can ball.
I got three guys.
Okay.
First, I'm going to go with Richie Saunders, freshman. Richie, he brings it every day in practice. Like, you don't got to tell him to turn it on. You never catch him, you know, lacking. You know, he plays his butt off every day, and he's one of those guys who I've depended on a lot to make a bunch of shots, and he's not let me down. And then I would also say Jared McGregor, walk on. He was one of the managers last year. You know, coach gave him a shot. He's got some serious game. You know, if you come watch a practice of ours, that is evident in like the first 2 minutes you watch him go up and down. And then I would also say Traden Christensen too, another walk-on. We were playing pickup about 2 weeks ago, and both those two guys, Jared and Traden, they just surprised the heck out of me. And I was like, these dudes are actually good, you know. And you know, them being walk-ons, some guys, you know, people will probably look over them and stuff like that, but those guys got game, and they will prove it really fast.
Okay, first practice is Monday, and we're going to be there at night live to see it, which will be super fun. What are you most excited about to get this thing going officially on Monday?
I'm just excited for, for us to be together for a longer period of time. Obviously, with the NCAA rules, we're only allowed, 8 hours in the week. Now with starting Monday, it's going to be like up to 20, I'm pretty sure. I'm not the NCAA rulebook guy, but I'm pretty sure it's 20. So, we're going to be together for a long amount of time, which is going to help us grow. Like you said, 12 new faces. We're going to need that. Everyone needs to be on the same page, and we're just going to have more chances to just grow our chemistry and learn each other more.
What's the identity of this BYU basketball team at this point?
At this point right now, I would just say playing super hard. In practice, everyone's playing super hard. Everyone's working their butt off. Coach Pope always talks about, just says, like when we play, people aren't going to understand like what we're doing and what's happening, as the game goes on, because we're just going to, just break guys apart, break them down defensively, offensively. And then, when the clock hits zeros, they're just going to look up and everyone's going to be like, what just happened? So we're playing super hard right now in practice.
Do you have 1 year of eligibility? Is this it for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got to savor every second here.
Yeah.
What are you hoping to accomplish in your final season of college basketball?
Obviously, March Madness is the ultimate goal. I want to hang some type of banner, whether it's a conference championship or tournament conference championship. I just want to leave my mark. I'm leaving. I'm walking out these doors in a couple months. So that's what I want to do for myself. And then, I just want to set myself up to, have a good position to become a pro and, have a good opportunity when that time comes at the end of the year.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you were number 3 because you seek to emulate Chris Paul.
Yeah, honestly, grew up a big CP fan. One of my best friends, Shea Alexander, he played with him on the Oklahoma City Thunder. And, I kind of that's when I really started paying attention to him, and I started just dissecting his game. And I was just like, yeah, if I can even play as half of this guy or a quarter of this guy, I'll be in good shape one day. So
how do you know Shea?
Just grew up with him,
Nice.
Back home.
Same age?
Yeah. He's a little bit older than me. I met him in 5th grade at a basketball camp, and we've been close ever since.
He's tremendous for the Thunder, formerly with the Clippers. Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty decent at basketball. He's
all right.
He's okay.
He's all right.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. He's got one of the
okay.
best names in all of the NBA. Okay, we've seen the white jerseys. Do you want to tease the other jerseys like a road, maybe an alternate, or are you going to hold that information?
I'm going to hold that information.
Okay.
Just know, and I quote Coach Bobby, he said, these ones, I know we got a good reaction out of these ones yesterday when they dropped, but he said these are the worst out of the new drop. That's what he told us. So
I love
that's
it.
pretty good. Those are the worst.
Those are clean.
If these are
That's
the
good.
worst, then I'm excited about the royal and I'm excited about the black. So
Okay.
yeah.
We need to get you up.
I wanted a black jersey. I'm so excited.
Can we get you
wanted a
modeling
black
the new
jersey.
uniforms? What is this Trevin Nell business?
I think Trev, he did a good job.
He
with
did.
it.
Trevin looked great.
I think I can pull that off.
Trevin is the most modelish player on the team. It's
true.
I thought that was a good move. I love Trev that way.
Well, he's got a wife that's got some experience in that genre.
She's an
too,
actor.
right?
She's
Yeah,
a model. Hey, it's a model family.
I get it.
done his fair share of
Let's get
photo
Rudi
shoots.
some notoriety.
Model citizen
Let's
as
go.
well.
I got to work on my model game. It's,
Oh, good.
and Trev was the guy. He was the guy.
Rudi, you get buckets, you'll be just fine. An assist. You'll be
Hey,
just fine.
great to have you here in Studio B, Rudy.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
Talk to
Thank
you
you for
again
having me.
soon.